Hit it.
That's how the song goes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Soundguys podcast.com.
The Soundguys podcast.
No, we don't have sound effects like that. I
do.
am your friendly, I'm not Neighborhood Nick.
I am the only neighborhood Nick.
Oh, gosh.
Do not doubt it.
So we got Neighborhood Nick over there with his Russian accent. And today I'm Crispin Smith.
Hey, Crispin Smith.
Coming at you live here from the Soundguys studios. And Nick is over there using his nose to follow his way home to Spotify.
I'm trying to just...
And we're
What's
just,
going on here?
just having some dead air, trying to find our way through. Well, anyways, for those of you who don't know who we are a group of guys. We like to talk about all sorts of things wonderful, near and dear.
I knew I had this before. It was already installed on here.
Near and dear to our hearts.
See, there you are.
Such as politics
That's
and
us.
joys and what? Nick,
We're right there.
I'm giving an introduction right now.
I'm showing you that we're on Spotify.
Oh, yeah. Is that us?
That's us, the Soundguys podcast.
Boy, my goodness.
With
Well,
our amazing logo we work so hard on.
slap my face, poke me in the eye, give me a swift kick in the butt. That's amazing. Wow.
And I've listened to every episode.
Well, yeah, you have to, because we got to make sure there's quality control in there. Even though you don't seem to ever be too concerned when your big schnoz is blowing helicopter noises in the microphone.
Well,
But
turn
that's
my
okay.
game down.
It has nothing to do with gain and everything to do with just being aware of your microphone. Now, mercifully, anyone who's on a cell phone probably wouldn't hear that low, but Nick, oh, this is like Tiny Tim. God bless us, everyone.
And take your infernal Christmas with you. Infernal Christmas.
Is that a line?
Scrooge.
Scrooge, you watch some of the most fascinating movies. You know, we've had this conversation before. You and Christmas movies, you consume like what? 300 Christmas movies over the season?
Well, once December hits, I mean, you have to get Scrooge. That's like the Albert Finney version. That's the most important one.
I don't know why that's so important.
I love it. It's so critical.
Albert
It's a
Finney
great musical.
Scrooge.
And then you also have to get Rudolph. You got to get Frosty. You got to get the Grinch. Coming from my family, it was only the cartoon version. However, my girlfriend loves the real life version, so I have to watch that one as well.
With Dana Carey?
Not Dana Carey. Jim Carrey.
Who's that?
Jim Carrey is the one who plays the Grinch.
Ugh. Albert Finney, 1970s. Jiminy Christmas. That's just like, you know.
It's an absolutely wonderful movie. It has the most important lines of any Scrooge film.
Okay, lay 'em on me. Help enlighten our listeners.
Has all the great music.
What the dickens have they done to Scrooge?
Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. That's one of the most important songs in the whole thing. At the very beginning. For the Christmas, for the Christmas.
What's the point of Scrooge?
What do you mean, what's the point of Scrooge?
Like, I mean...
He's a man who prioritized business and money over everything else. And then his heart becomes softened to the point where he realized the Christmas spirit and becomes generous with life and joy and happiness. so he doesn't go to hell.
Really?
Yes.
Exactly. That's my phone gave it the right note right there. Jeez.
Because Bob Marley tells him, Mr. Marley tells him that the chain is ginormous of what Scrooge is building. So because Scrooge is such an evil person, his sins in life and his business and his greed creates a chain that will hold him when he dies. And Marley has all these chains and coin boxes that he's permanently tied to. And Scrooge already has a much larger chain. And so in the Albert Finney version, unlike the other Scrooge versions of the Christmas Carol, he actually does go to hell and gets buried under the chains that he has produced. And then he wakes up.
Huh. That's Scrooge in a nutshell.
Well, that's the very annotated version.
I don't get it.
You should watch the movie.
Okay. I can do that. Hey,
You
let's
should-
move.
you should watch
Let's
Scrooge.
move your mic.
You can move the mic.
I can't help but just keep on hearing. Kevin, how's his audio?
Sorry, it's my first day, Kevin.
I cannot help but hear this just got a hole in your lip. For those of us who don't know, Nick over here, he just decided to dribble all over himself. He had a little accident.
Tasty. Sticky tastiness.
So what? Well, that sounds great. Sticky tastiness. Okay.
Dr. Pepper.
Dude, what's up with every stinking fast food joint now trying to compromise on the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
Okay.
Talking about
so
a sticky sandwich here. I mean, this is...
the crispy chicken sandwich, of which we have a story in the past of you and your sadness with
Oh, yeah.
McChickens and
Yeah.
everything. But, yeah, every Taco Bell's in on the game now. Jack in the Box is in on the game. Burger King in on the game. Everyone's doing chicken. When did chicken become so popular? Oh, now you have to put it closer to me, huh?
Just a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
Just a little
Is you're
bit.
not hearing what I'm saying? Do I need to get up close onto the microphone?
No, you
Do
don't.
I
Have
need
to,
to do this?
you don't have to be weird about it. I'm just getting good levels.
We're
on-
talking about chicken.
Yeah.
We could talk about chicken in a creepy way. That's what we do.
Cluck, cluck.
Cluckety cluck.
Cluck, cluck.
But no, everyone is getting in on
chicken.
crispy chicken. Everyone's got to have the crispy chicken sandwich. Could it be because beef has just skyrocketed in price?
Has it? Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, you know what? I've got one thing I gotta say
What do you got to say there?
about
Crispin
beef.
Smith?
Now listen. You know,
It's delicious. It's
I'm
what's
not-
for dinner.
I'm not going to go one way or the other, and I'm not expecting to get sued by saying this because it should be public knowledge. But up here we have a ranch that, good on them for creating kind of this local feeling that they care for their cows. You know, they have like I'm all about the organic movement in terms of if the animal's going to live a good life, and then, you slaughter them and whatever, great. And so there's a ranch up here that kind of just not unintentionally, but they've kind of just carried on this forefront that, oh yeah, look at us, we've got green pastures and we're organically fed beef and stuff. I'm like, okay. Well, in a lot of our travels recently, heading down south, there's this massive. It's like out by Patterson, California. Remember?
Patterson.
So
Yeah,
remember,
I know Patterson.
remember when we were driving back from the SoFi project,
Yes.
and that big giant, just like, it was just miles of just dirt with black cows.
Yep.
Okay. and the smell was horrendous.
Yep.
Okay. So
As you go out past Patterson and Lodi and Stockton.
it's somewhere in there. And so anyways, did you ever happen to catch the name of that ranch?
No, I've never looked at the
Yeah.
ranch.
So I finally looked at it because this is the 4th or 5th time I've had to go down this stretch of I-5, and I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are. This is where they source their beef. It's the ranch that's up here that has 100 head of cattle up here up in Reading, and they're like, oh, look how they're all spaced out and spread, and everyone's all nice and comfy.
Grass-fed,
Yeah.
human nature stuff.
But no, really, the real wool over the eyes is that no, they're mass producing this, and those because that honestly, I don't know how that hasn't been shut down. It's atrocious. Those cows are out in the freaking beat of the sun. There's not a single shade structure for miles. They're walking around in their own feces, as far as I can tell, because, it smells to high heaven as you're driving by. Anyways, I wanted to bring that up because of the whole beef thing. I was like, that's a little bit too much. I don't know.
Well, California has some of the strictest food farming regulations in the country.
Yeah, but why
and in the world.
They don't seem to be enacted there. I don't know. Sorry.
Well, I think it's only you have to have a certain square footage per animal, and it's very it's still very small. It's just not meant to keep anything in pens or locked in a single non-moving position. Basically, you just have to be able to move back and forth a little bit. And chickens can't be in coops.
Just a little bit.
Very little.
Damn it.
Because the muscle degradation and whatnot, they have to be monitoring that. Pigs used to have it the worst out of everyone.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to find, but apparently there's also a lot of farms actually on that I-5 stretch now that I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
lots of farms, lots of fields.
And then apparently there's also a drag strip out there for all the farmers to go hang out on.
Yeah, boy.
Because,
gotta have some fun, man.
After you had your working day,
gotta go have the fun on the road.
It's called Eagle Field. It's drag racing.
Where else are you gonna go?
Right?
Gotta enjoy life.
Anyways, I'm sorry. So chicken, you're talking about.
No, chickens. They're not allowed. I think they're not allowed to chain chickens' feet, so they're not allowed. The hens that are making all the eggs. Mm-hmm. They're not they have to be allowed to move now.
No, wait.
There's
That's
a lot
not
of
at all
hens
what you
that
were
were
talking about.
stuck in same positions and everything.
No, you were talking about the movement with all the new chicken sandwiches.
Yes, you were
because
talking
beef
about
was
that.
beef was expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were. Weren't you finishing that?
Well, basically, every place has their own chicken sandwich now, and they're marketing absolutely insane.
Okay.
The marketing has been insane for these chicken sandwiches, and so has the social media posts on Twitter.
What?
Yeah, you know how all the restaurants they battle each other about their products and how they make products better and all these other things.
I thought Wendy's was the only one that did that.
Wendy's does that. Burger King does that. Burger King and Chick-fil-A got into it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because Burger King was like, we make the king of chicken sandwiches, and we're open on Sundays. We sponsor LGBTQ plus communities, really laying it on Chick-fil-A.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
And then Chick-fil-A responded back in turn and showed how they make more money than Burger King still, even without working 7 days a week.
That was their comeback?
It was pretty junk. I can look up the exact.
What did they say about the LGBTQ? Did they have something to... In the meantime, while Nick is using his single hand to... Why he doesn't use two hands, I don't know.
I don't have his weighted. I'm blocked. I'm blocked.
Man, that's another thing. You know, Neighborhood Nick, we love him to death, but he still has not mastered the art of looking up things efficiently.
I'm blocked. I'm blocked.
He'd rather just have the one hand just go click, 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 click. Yeah, it's good. It's good, Nick.
Clickety click. Don't talk.
Anyways, with that being said, though, no, I think that just being a good person is super important in terms of trying to, you know, fix things along and make sure that, you know, the humans we're like, you know, trying to be, you know, destroying crap. We're always, you know, it's like just common decency is all. What? Hold on. There's an Amazon fulfillment center there also? That's crazy. I mean, honestly, Amazon is going to be nothing more than just this massive setup for warehouse cities. You know?
Warehouses?
Warehouse cities.
Warehouse cities.
Because that means there's a fulfillment center now. Amazon is working on getting a fulfillment center in... that's crazy. Almost like every 30 square miles. Because I'm looking at this. That's Patterson. And then they've got one up there just over the way in Sacramento. It's nuts. I mean, like, I'd love to know those metrics. Like, they're like, okay, what do we want to keep on stock? Because that right there. Oh, you know, and honestly, can we talk about another thing while you're looking this up? You know, well, props to Elon Musk. I mean, that guy, honestly, if I ever had a chance to shake his hand, I would probably just cry. Because,
why would you cry?
Well, because he's like, you know, honestly, I think, you know, from a capitalistic standpoint, he's doing everything he can to benefit society, but also still take care of his own. But I mean, you know, the man lives in a freaking storage container. He has, you know, maybe $100 cash to his name.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's asset rich, of course, but very cash poor. And he's so hands on with his projects. I mean, this whole the Inspiration 4 launch right now with SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness, man, that's great stuff, and especially the way they crafted the mission to be, you know, about raising money. You know, and it just, I don't know, the whole thing became more about how it can help people versus just another, let's get up there and have some fun. You know what I mean? And it's, yeah, as of right now, it looks like they're going to hit they're probably going to hit their $200 million goal for children's cancer research. That's great. That's awesome. And we already know that, like, his program in general, with Neuralink, honestly, you know, he very well may be able to cure cancer. I think.
It's possible.
He's just, I don't know. He just seems like a genuinely quirky, you know, I don't know. Dude, and did you see the cancer survivor gal who's on the crew at SpaceX? She's cute.
Yeah.
She's cute. The curly head one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so
would you date her?
I don't know anything about her.
Well, you should learn.
Okay, I'll look it up.
But, well, all you need to know right now is that she's smart and she's a cancer survivor. So
Cool.
So those are the two things you got to go with. So are you so you guys going on? Are you guys going to dinner or what?
Well, I already have a girlfriend.
Nick, it doesn't matter. You can still go to dinner.
I finally found the Chicken Wars.
Well, I guess it's good enough that you found it because I was going to go deeper on this one, but whatever.
Hashtag chicken wars, baby.
Hashtag chicken wars.
So Popeyes started with a beautiful tweet. Chicken, brioche, pickles, new, sandwich, Popeyes, nationwide, so good. Forgot how, speak in complete sentences. With which Chick-fil-A came back. Bun plus chicken plus pickles, all the love for the original. Popeyes replies, y'all good? With their tweet. And then Wendy's decides, we're getting in. Y'all out here fighting about which of these fools has the second best chicken sandwich? Popeyes replies, sounds like someone just ate one of our biscuits because y'all are looking thirsty. Followed by Wendy's, guess that means the food's as dry as the jokes? And then someone named Kevin, I'm assuming, tweeted, Church's chicken is greater than Bojangles, which is greater than Popeyes, which is greater than KFC, which is greater than Publix fried chicken, which is greater than Dryerland, which is greater than Chick-fil-A. Church's replied back, case closed, hashtag chicken wars. Which then Zaxby's tweeted, did someone say chicken sandwiches? Then Shake Shack got involved. If you're looking for a chicken sandwich without the beef, winky face, you know where to find us. And then IHOP got in on it. And all of these restaurants just start pouring in.
Dude, IHOP
into the chicken
went out of
wars.
business in Chico.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I heard it's not going so well.
And then Burger King, when they got in, this is during Pride Month and everything, and they came out with the Chicken. On theirs, they said, during Pride Month, even on Sundays, looking around, your chicken sandwich craving can do good. We're here making a donation to HRC for every chicken sold. Which was a huge slap towards Chick-fil-A for when they're closed on Sundays. And Chick-fil-A has been typically donates to primarily Christian groups, which are viewed as anti-LGBTQ plus community.
Okay.
So that's where all of the feuds started happening. And then I can't find Chick-fil-A's response to that, though.
Well, that's anticlimactic. This is the reason why we wanted to have the answer, Nick.
I will get it. Don't worry. But I'm giving you the background of what the chicken wars were.
Gotcha.
But anyway, back to our initial point. Everyone has chicken sandwiches now. Everyone needs chicken sandwiches now. And Taco Bell now has the taco sandwich chicken, crispy chicken?
Yeah, I saw the ads on those.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I don't know either, but I think that
We're going to have to try it.
I bet you it's good.
We're going to have to try it.
I bet you it's good because anything that Taco Bell makes, they just can't go wrong. Honestly,
Even though it will destroy your stomach.
it'll ruin.
It's good.
Honestly, I think that's the reason why I've lost so much weight because I haven't eaten any Taco Bell. I haven't eaten any Taco Bell for weeks, and I mean honestly, the secret to losing a little weight in your life is to cut the Taco Bell and the sugars out. In fact, if it wasn't for Neighborhood Nick bringing in these stupid cans of soda, I wouldn't have been drinking these either. So I'm just saying. Well, that was a long pause.
Sorry, I was reading that Kanye West wrote a song about Chick-fil-A.
What?
He wrote a Chick-fil-A inspired song. I have to look this up now.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I mean, goodness gracious.
I'm going to use two hands now.
Oh, look at him go, folks. Going to use finally some two hands to be able to type along. Well, in any event, not much has been going on in our neck of the woods in terms of the gigs that we've had. It's just a little update on the entertainment industry in general. It's been more, again, live streaming. It's been a lot of live streaming. It's been a lot of government and corporate meetings. But the thing that kind of just bothers me in general is that we've had no room or time to innovate. Now, Neighborhood Nick had a great idea about innovating on doing virtual events or like 3D spaces and things, but
That was a long time ago.
it just doesn't seem to have wheels, nor does it seem to really have the ability to.
We would need some more techie people.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. I would say the ability to.
We'd need time.
No,
We would need time. We would need hardware. We would need testing samples and people.
I think that's really what it is. It just comes down to finding out a way to get, finding out how it is the end user experience. That's been the
Exactly.
biggest thing. Like, figure out what the end user is going to experience first,
because we
and then
did.
work in reverse.
Because we did. When we came up with that idea, we invited a local musician to do a set list, right?
Mm-hmm.
And played some music. We had a camera situated right next to him, and then another camera in the back, and trying to give them at this time, it was only a 360.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a 360 movie going experience kind of thing. But you had some great, like, you could be there on stage with the musician. It looked pretty cool. But that was primarily for, like, if you had not augmented reality, but the virtual reality headsets or phones with the headsets, and you look around and you're like, oh, I'm in the studio with this guy. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
We just weren't able to fully. I mean, we recreated the sound from, the soundboard and everything. But kind of like how we mentioned in our previous episode, the difference between soundboard sound and full concert sound. We weren't able to replicate the full concert thing. But we started going down that path, and then we kind of just stopped.
I know. Well, I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, you look at good ideas. Good ideas take also a good chunk of people. And that's where I go back with, like, Elon Musk. He has always had a knack for, energizing people. Energizing people that want to, really work around, like, his design team. Not the ancillary sales and all those guys. I don't know.
Well, he has a lot of companies also.
Well, I understand that, but
And he has the capital.
I'm talking about from the very beginning. From the very beginning, when it was, something very small.
Yeah. I can see that.
No, he didn't. And to get the capital, you have to kind of go in certain directions. You can't just, one day pick it up and go. It was a thought. It was a thought. Did you find the answer to what you were looking for?
It was called Closed on a Sunday by Kanye West.
Closed on a Sunday by Kanye West.
Closed on a Sunday.
Wait, so hold on then. So
Chick-fil-A.
what were we talking about regarding the chicken sandwiches?
Everyone's got a chicken sandwich now. There's a feud about the chicken wars. Everyone's casting shade on other restaurants and everything of that nature. But I think we have to have a serious conversation about who makes the best chicken sandwich.
Okay.
Because we ourselves, we've tried Chick-fil-A, we've tried Popeyes, you've had the McDonald's one. I have not had the McDonald's one yet. I've had the Jack in the Box one.
Mm-hmm. I haven't.
Have you had the Wendy's one?
No.
Neither of us have had Wendy's. And then Taco Bell, they got their taco sandwich chicken thing. We haven't tried that one. Have you?
Which one?
The Taco Bell one?
No, I just saw the commercial for that.
Yeah, so I think, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you could help us out with this. What we'll do is we'll get one of each of these, and we'll try them, and we'll give you an actual rating of which one is worth your money and which one you should just avoid completely. Don't even think about it. Don't even look at the restaurant and think, chicken sandwich. I think we should do that.
Have a chicken sandwich competition?
And see which chicken sandwich reigns supreme.
Well, again, I would be very surprised if people take anything over Popeyes.
I don't know.
The Popeyes sandwich just beats.
The Popeyes is good. It depends if we add things to it or if we just get straight up the original one. Because you like the spicy one more.
I do, but I mean, it's still. I've had both the spicy and the non-spicy, and it's a matter
We would have
of.
to just get straight up non-spicy
Yeah.
ones because that's what everyone does.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how good the flavor is of Popeye's chicken.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing it.
So I think this is a valid competition that we will have to try. From the fast food ones, at least, in this local area. And find out which one is the best.
Oh, I like that. Let's do it.
We can do this.
We can totally do this. Oh,
Bless thou.
I had a sneeze.
I could tell.
It just kind of hit me out of nowhere.
That's why I blessed you.
Thanks. I was looking at this picture of this charcuterie board. This cat here is trying to take the cheese out of the charcuterie.
Oh.
I don't know why that became a thing. I like feeding tables. They're kind of good. That's definitely kind of an artful element to shows and to craft service. Have you ever? Do you know the origins of a charcuterie or like the actual feeding tables?
No.
You know,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
for someone as enlightened as you,
I don't have all the answers.
I mean, so you know what a feeding table is, right?
No, like a buffet?
No, it's farm. Gosh, no, you potato. I mean, it's like, I mean, try being a little more civilized. Good Lord. So look, charcuterie feeding table. It's like, I mean, for you to say, it'd be like, oh, it's just like a buffet. No, buffets are like so, crap, and just lowbrow. Ugh. Okay, so the difference. First off, let's talk about a buffet. Buffet is you go, you serve. There's a bunch of other people that are all up there on the feeding line, and you got to grab your plate, and it's just blah.
They're amazing.
So if you see this picture here,
I love buffets.
that's a feeding table. Everybody sits around, and they actually have very artfully placed, proteins, starches. See what I'm saying? You've got dates.
It's a snack table.
No, wow. No, it's not a snack. I mean, you could call it a snack.
It is. You got crackers, you got cheese, you got dates.
Sure,
You
but
got some dips, you got bread.
But the quality
That's
of the
snack table.
the quality of the food, the quality of the presentation, the quality of the experience is much higher scale, higher end.
Okay.
I guess I'll just Google it myself. Jiminy Christmas.
I lost the internet again, so.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how'd you do that, man?
They kicked me off.
Huh. Well, anyways, I don't know. I really do like really well executed little tables like that. Now, of course, we know it came from France, but right, the French. But I'm just curious if it was,
We don't have a French ambassador right now.
huh?
The French president has called back the ambassador to the United States.
Yeah, because we made him mad about that sub deal, didn't we?
Yep.
What do you want to care to share with the folks that
finish your food
are?
table.
No, please,
About
please,
the French.
please tell me because for those that aren't in the know, remember because the majority of our listeners aren't going to be nearly as diversified. No, and don't take this the wrong way, listeners. It's just that you got a lot going on. So our job is to help kind of fill in the gaps of the things you might have missed throughout your month. Yeah. To educate, delight, and entertain. So what happened to the subs, Nick? What did you do with the subs?
I have not done a thing with
Did you
any
put them in the
submarines.
backyard?
I tried to put them in the back,
Okay.
but they didn't work. They didn't work in the back, so we gave them away. And Apparently, Australia really wants submarines, nuclear submarines, to be precise.
Why would they want nuclear submarines?
Well, everyone wants a good nuclear-powered submarine.
Okay. But
You can do a lot of things with them. They
Such
can go
as?
farther. They shoot cool things. They can go
would it
deeper.
happen to be needing to do anything with the COVID related? Are they going to try to? Are they going to try to control their crowds with it?
No. It's more about China.
It's nuts over there.
They're shooting puppies.
Why?
Australia, they shot puppies in the animal shelter so that people wouldn't leave their houses to go adopt puppies. That's a verified story in Australia. The Australian government is condoning the shooting of puppies
What is wrong with Australia right now?
because they had 4 people got COVID.
4.
Something like that.
Are you kidding?
Single digits. New Zealand shut down their entire country because 2 people got COVID. And then there's the United States. And everything we do in every different state.
Answer me this though. Just out of curiosity.
But wait, hold up.
That
Anyway, Australia won subs. America's like, hey, we'll make you some subs. But France had already said they were going to make subs for Australia through a deal.
did those subs include? Was it turkey or was it beef?
Tuna.
Tuna.
So, anyway.
Hopefully they put pepperoncinis on it.
More jalapenos.
Ugh.
With
Jalapenos don't go well
with some
with
sweet
tuna.
relish.
You gotta have pepperoncinis
And mayonnaise.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, with tuna, yeah, you gotta get the taste of tuna in your mouth.
Yeah.
You gotta put some mayonnaise on it and mustard.
No mustard. But anyway, France got upset with the United States because they were doing this secret deal with Australia. And then Australia told France, hey, we're getting stuff from America. And so President Macron basically told the ambassador in D.C., come home. We're going to reassess what's going on. Complete slap in the face to the Biden foreign policy. It's not pretty. France has been a longtime ally of the United States, and it's a diplomatic slap without actually slapping President Biden.
All right.
Now go back to your thing. Answer me this question that you
What
had.
was I asking you about?
You were asking me this about COVID stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was looking at like Australia and blah blah blah, but like we're talking about vaccination rates and jazz in America, and then you get like vaccination rates in the EU, or like in Israel, or even in So I guess what I'm saying is, which countries are we seeing? Is weird. We're seeing the same hospitalization rate in say Israel, right? But that we are seeing in America, but yet I know they're smaller countries. I know the size and all the differences there, but they're vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas in America, let's say I'm just throwing these are not formal numbers, but let's say in America where we have 80% of the hospitalized population is unvaccinated. Whereas in other countries, 80% of the hospitalized population is vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to me that people across the world, from a global standpoint, vaccinated or unvaccinated, are still ending up in the hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm just making that as a statement. I'm like, well, what's your professional opinion in all of your years of medicine? And
Yes, my medical degree in virology.
in all of your, your expertise from a political standpoint and also a scientific standpoint.
Well, Israel's already moving. I think they're already moving into like their 4th shots. So in America, we're battling about getting people a 3rd COVID booster shot. A lot in Israel I think, are already pushing to the 4th COVID shot. So we could see something like that, which would be really interesting. I'm going to just verify this, so I just, you know.
Well, while you verify it, you should. But yeah, the charcuterie boards I was talking about. Yeah, you know, grazing tables, all those things. You just call them a little snack thing.
Yeah, but I just type in Israel, the first thing on Bing, not Google, Bing. They're already talking about their 4th coronavirus vaccination shot.
Yeah.
While in America we're battling about whether or not to use a 3rd booster shot, Israel's planning to administer a 4th COVID shot. So, has to do with all the crazy variants that are going on. But as you said, Israel is like the most vaccinated country in the entire planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having battles with all these variants and people going to the hospital. And, I mean, they're fully vaccinated. So, just because you get a vaccine, you're not guaranteed to not get COVID. Everyone knows this. It's not a vaccine that we would typically think of. Like, a lot of people in America, we think of the polio vaccines, we think of measles vaccines. You know, you get the vaccine, you're not supposed to get the disease whatsoever. There's still breakthrough cases. The COVID vaccine is not as secure as other vaccines. It has a lot of breakthrough cases. The percentage is skyrocketing compared to every other vaccine that we've ever had. It's apparently works for people in certain regions, and for other regions, it depends on which one you get. If you get the Chinese, the Sinovac, you're going to be screwed regardless. If you get Moderna or AstraZeneca or Pfizer, you're in a different block. If you get the J&J, you're in a different thing. And then other countries, they already have so many other different vaccines. So the companies make a difference. The location that you're at, whether or not it's a region that is going to continue to strengthen viruses or weaken viruses, humid climates, dry climates, there's a lot of factors. I'm not a virologist expert.
Huh.
It's a mess. COVID's a mess.
In the meantime, though, you got Lil Nas X's new boyfriend on TikTok. They're looking good, looking ripped.
There's blood in his shoes.
Whose blood?
Lil Nas.
Yeah?
He made a special sneaker, 666 pairs of them.
Uh-huh.
And each one has a drop of blood in the heel.
Oh. Why?
Had something to do with his music video with Satan, where he twerks on Satan.
Huh. Well, that's exciting.
It's very...
I'm not aware of that. See, learn something every day. No, they're that's... I don't know. That's another reason why... And I'm... sexual preference. If you're going to be homosexual, you want to be gay, do it. I mean, that's cool and all, but there has to be a certain level of commitment to that lifestyle, and part of it is also keeping up your physical appearance. I mean, it comes to the point to where now people when you're gay, you are ripped. You're looking good. That's the thing. Most guys, yeah. So it's like, I think that's going to become the new term. I've heard it said before and I've actually heard this said. I think that that's going to be the new terminology as in this new culture we move forward with. When you say someone's so gay, that's actually going to be a positive.
Because it looks so good.
Yeah, a positive affirmation, like man, you are looking so gay. Because that's you're ripped, you're looking. Because ultimately, that's part of it. I think that. Looking at Lil Nas X and his boyfriend, they're looking great. They're looking
snazzy.
They're looking gay, absolutely, and I think that's good. You know what I'm saying? And actually, honestly, like I talking to my wife's sister because she's gay, and her wife, I got a compliment all the time. Guys, you guys look amazing. I don't know how you pull this off. To be able to still, not only on top of, relationship and regular life and still going to work. They're both in the military and they're all these things. And I'm just like, boy, you look so gay. Because you guys are just, I mean, just fit. And her sister's pregnant. And she still looks great. I'm just telling you, man, it's amazing. It's that for me, I think is definitely a testimony to good style. Am I perplexing you? What's you just seem to be a little. I'm just.
I don't know how to contribute to this.
Okay, well, that's fair. I mean,
I'm just soaking in this information of.
Well, mark my
gayness.
words. Mark my words. I really do feel like that's probably going to be.
Do you think we're done with using gay as an insult?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
So now it's gone from insult to compliment.
Correct.
Interesting. Cool.
But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. I'm looking at these people here posting their vaccination cards on Reddit. Don't know why they would post these, but that's okay.
Everyone, you have to get your COVID vaccine card on the internet, so there is no doubt that you've been vaccinated.
I guess. I mean, whatever.
And then for some people, it's like the I voted stickers. You got to show that. Everything has to be on social media these days, which is interesting. Facebook did a study.
What?
They did a study and then they hid everything for a while to see if Facebook is actually bad for teenagers.
Oh, I bet.
Yep. And so they got the results of the study and then they hid it.
They hid it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't they? Because it would probably be damaging to their business model.
And now they're trying to circle back and we did the study to show how. Originally the study was to show that Facebook was a healthy place and that social media was fine. And then it switched to, nope, it's unhealthy. It causes bad depression in teenagers, especially girls. And then they tried to hide it for a while and then said, well, you did this so that we could make everything healthier.
Boy. Hey, would you date AOC?
Why do you bring this up again?
I bring it up because just curious if you would.
You brought this up last time.
Did I?
Yes.
Well, did you know that she was saying to tax the rich? Did you hear about that?
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Yeah. What, is everything all right?
Yes, I think I'm gonna go and brush my teeth and start getting ready for bed.
All right. How you feeling?
Well, I'm okay. I'm just very tired.
Okay.
And would you turn the light off in here?
Sure.
Will do.
Anything else I can do for you?
I think I'm fine, honey.
Okay. Well, just let me know.
All right. Love you, boys.
Love you too.
See you in the morning.
Yes,
Will
ma'am.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, she said tax the rich.
She wore that on a dress.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
At a gala.
Oh.
With a bunch of rich people.
So how much is she making? Does she make like $100 and something thousand a year?
I
Like,
think
what does-
representatives
what
make
does a
$135,000 a year.
I'm just curious.
That's not including stocks and all the other things. That's just the actual payroll.
So I mean, really, to work in as like a congressional salary is good.
Let's see. In 2009, representatives make roughly. In 2009, they got paid $174,000 a year, which in 2019 dollars, after you include inflation, is roughly $207,359.
All right.
That was in 2009. So yeah, they make six figures a year.
So that's probably then a I don't really understand the whole tax the rich idea thing. Can you help enlighten me? Like, explain to me like I'm 5.
So the idea is that rich people don't pay their fair share in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to eliminate income inequality, you have to redistribute the wealth. So the government taxes rich people who make much higher than the other 99% of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So you take some of their money and then you give it to the rest of the 99% to try to increase their wealth and thus try to level the playing field a little bit. So for all of these social welfare programs, the idea is if you tax the rich more, then you have more money to fund in social welfare programs that tries to take the bottom people, specifically the very, very bottom, and tries to lift them up out of poverty and into a livable standard of life.
And are we trying that? Do we have any proven studies on this? Like, does this work?
No,
Like, no to what?
it doesn't. It hasn't worked.
Okay.
The only times it's kind of, I mean, this is the basic focal point of Karl Marx Das Kapital, as he's explaining capitalism, is that at some point, the capitalist market will make some people so incredibly rich, and the laborers will be so incredibly poor that they will have no other choice but to finally overthrow the top people and bring about a violent revolution and change how business and government is done so that everyone is on a more equal playing field. That's the idea of socialism, where the rich pay a much higher tax, the poor pay a much lower tax until everyone reaches the point of equality. At that point, you can now transfer from socialism to communism, where everything is done for the community's good. You all work for the community. There's no more taxes. There's no more anything. And everyone just redistributes all the goods of society.
I see.
The idea for taxing the rich in this modern sense, though, because communism has been shown to be a proven failure in the 20th century, is that the AOC group, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, believe that the top 1% of Americans, the Michael Bloombergs, the Donald Trumps, the Joe Bidens, need to pay higher taxes in order to help the lower group of people live in a higher living standard. That's their main argument. The issue then becomes about changing the entire tax code and corporations and everything,
Right.
which is why Joe Biden then went to other countries to say, hey, we need to have a universal global corporate tax rate, of which G7 nations signed on to, but not all of the G20 and other countries that are like, no.
Yeah.
Because corporate tax rates, the way that certain countries like Ireland get businesses to even want to come to Ireland is because they have a much lower tax rate for corporations than the rest of the European Union.
Right. Okay.
And so if you have a global corporate tax rate, then there's no reason for companies to be moving to different countries
Sure.
and have their headquarters in those regions, which on one hand keeps some companies like working in America and everything.
Sure.
It's really a great scheme to keep the rich countries rich,
Sure.
because no one will want to go to the poor countries.
Right.
So that's a beautiful strategy that the G7 came up with to keep their own companies in their own countries, is just by taxing everyone at the same rate, so you never want to leave. Poor countries will never ever get any big giant companies into their regions. No development. Continues what we call dependency theory in political science, where poor countries in the global south rely and depend upon businesses to buy their raw resources in the global north, and then you put them in debt to try to industrialize, and then they never can pay off that debt, so they become even more dependent upon global north countries, which in the end is what a lot of socialism is these days.
Right. Well said. I don't.
And then you have people in the rich that just move their hometowns where they make their residency in different countries, like Monaco. That's the big one. Monaco is a big tax haven.
Yeah, I just don't understand why though folks in general don't. I mean, they don't see the fact that
Almost every elite global athlete has their home in Monaco.
yeah. So again, why are? I mean, I guess it's just a bummer that the majority of the public, or I wouldn't say. I mean, maybe it's the public that the media gives most credence to, but they just seem to go along with these suggestions that knowingly are going to that could be very damaging to society as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they're just happily going along with things. I don't know.
Well, a lot of it is just people want the government to do something to try to alleviate the pain of those lesser well off.
Yeah.
And so everyone wants to say that the richest people need to pay their fair share in order to do it. And that's what Joe Biden said.
Pay their
fair share.
Hey, well, I've got good news. Looks like 3 hours ago, Inspiration 4.
Touchdown?
Touchdown.
Woo!
They made it down.
They made it. Hot diggity dog.
Splash down. That's so cool. I mean, again, just for this guy to be able to do what he does, and I mean, for this team to be able to make it into the ocean, and just the fact that he did reusable rockets that land themselves. Like, think about that. I mean, what was wrong with NASA? Like, the fact that they would do that, it took them 50 years, right, to just kind of get us where we're at, just like, whatever. And then this guy comes along and just says, you know what? I think we can do something where we can actually have reusable rockets and this and that, and they can land themselves and all those other elements. And then he pulls it off in like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what's wrong with that picture? You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know, paradigms. I'm just so enamored these days. Good people, man. Good people.
Good people who need to pay their fair share. Tax the rich.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, I was just reading another thing about Lil Nas. It doesn't matter.
Little Nas.
He's a good-looking guy.
I'm glad that you find him attractive.
I'm just saying, Lil Nas X, man. He's just good-looking guy. You don't think so?
I don't know him that well.
Hey. What's that noise?
That's called wind.
Is that wind?
Outside.
Huh. Is it windy outside?
Apparently.
Well, anyways, okay. Ah. Well,
Well, anyway, ladies and
wait, are
gentlemen.
you sure?
I'll go check.
No, I think that's your phone on the mic. No, it's not windy, is it? See, this is when we trust neighborhood Nick. You know, I give him way too much freedom because I trust everything the neighborhood Nick says to be the absolute gospel. And then he, always just disappoints me with these little...
There's slight rain outside.
Is it wind?
There is wind.
Is it strong enough wind to generate the noise? Do I need to retract what I was about to say about you?
You should always retract what you're about to
No.
say about me.
Let's put it this way. This guy, he will pull things out of thin air, out of his rear end, just to prove a point, to say he's right, hoping that no one will fact check him. And they're very inconsequential things, and I get that. But the whole, like, just like that, the wind statement. Like, yeah, what's that noise? Wind? Oh, sure it is. Yeah, no, it's not. Anyways, I digress. That's the reason why we love him. This is your neighborhood Nick. And I'm Crispin Smith. And what show is this?
This is the Sound Guys podcast.
Boy. Wait, soundguyspodcast.com.
But the show is the Sound Guys podcast.
I think we've wasted another...
We are the soundguyspodcast.com, but this is the Sound Guys podcast.
Well, you've joined us again yet for another phenomenal episode of what do we even talk about today?
It's a great question. In case you were wondering, ladies and gentlemen, Crispin Smith here. He's been a little sick. He's been a little under the weather.
Yeah.
So he's not, he's like in his Johnny Banjo mode right now.
What does that mean? I'm just not dancing like the monkey that I was? Is that, you just expect me to get up here and just dance? No, man. I have
Dance, monkey, dance.
There's other more pressing issues to be talking about, okay?
Dance, monkey.
We've talked about these issues.
Dance, monkey.
We've talked about the state of the nation. We've talked about the vaccines. We've talked about the work that is non-existent. And unions and corporations taking over the big dollar. That's what I think we talked about.
Dance, monkey.
Yeah.
We've had some important discussions today, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you take notes on what we talked about? No. Okay.
We talked about chicken. We talked about farming. We talked about issues around the world about global tax rates. We talked about Lil Nas and gayness and how gay is now a compliment.
Yes.
We've talked a lot, ladies and gentlemen. And we hope that you enjoy these conversations. We hope that they're rewarding to you, that they touch your soul, that they have a place in your heart, that you're addicted to these conversations, that you need them on a regular basis just to keep living life.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to provide for you
Yeah.
at the Sound Guys podcast.
That's a really hard sell. That's a heavy-handed sell. That's good.
It's what we have to do these days.
That's good, man. I like that. That's good. Okay.
We should have guests.
We will. We need to get one. Actually, we're gonna have a guest very soon, and you're gonna really enjoy her professional outlook on life.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not
A
teasing.
female.
Yeah, not teasing that at all. But in any event, until then,
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Sound Guys podcast. My name is the Neighborhood Nick,
and I'm Banjo Bob.
and if you liked what you saw, what you heard today,
What you saw.
well, we have a camera. If you liked what you saw today, ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, never miss a future episode of this wonderful family quality entertainment without any sensual dancing whatsoever. We're better than that.
We don't smoke weed.
He may look like it because of the beanie. But no.
You
It's all
know,
clean.
we're gonna touch on that later. That's ridiculous. How that is so naive.
So naive.
So, I mean, just shallow. This is a cultural headpiece. This is, people that wear beanies don't just smoke weed because they wear a beanie. This is my cultural garb. All right? You come at me and you tell me that I'm wearing, because I wear this, I look like I smoke weed. Ah, are you for real right now?
Yes. In Jesus' name I play.
I am a cancer survivor.
No. You don't get to play that card. It's not
Well,
how it works.
Tell them how it goes to bed, Nick. We put the lotion in the basket. We finished it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure, hit subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Post it all over Facebook.
Do what you
All
gotta
over
do.
Twitter.
Yeah.
If you're onto TikTok, put us in whatever format TikTok is these days.
It's in a .tko asterisk.
In some strange file like that. Use us as your cell phone background picture thing. If you make phone covers, you can have us on your phone cover.
Dude, don't do that. I mean, if you do, at least pick a good screenshot
There's a few good ones.
where we don't look so
Fat.
silly and fat.
Well, actually, now fat shaming is now illegal in some places.
Is it? What if you're shaming yourself?
It's highly looked down upon.
Really?
Yep.
What regions?
America.
What?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. We're not going to dive down that I just made up off the top of my head that he believed.
See? See this guy? This guy. Anyways, whatever. All
We'll
right.
see you later, ladies and
night.
gentlemen.
Bye.
Hey!